reforma migratoria. Un aliado. Abogado Borja. 718 La Migra. 718-526-4472.
Good afternoon. I am Michael Borgia, and today I'm going to discuss Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, otherwise known as DACA, and the essential information necessary to understand how to apply and what kind of relief it offers. On June 15, 2012, President Barack Obama signed a memorandum known as Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, calling for the deferred action for qualified young immigrants. This policy change was brought on by years of advocacy of the DREAM Act and the many failed attempts of trying to pass the bill in Congress. President Obama took it upon himself to issue a presidential memorandum, a legal instrument to govern the policies of the various departments and agencies under the executive branch of the U.S. government. Deferred Action was finally introduced on August 15, 2012 as a discretionary grant of relief by the Department of Homeland Security. To be considered for deferred action, an individual must have arrived in the United States before turning 16 years of age, have lived continuously in the United States before or since June 15, 2007 until the present time, have been present in the United States on June 15, 2012, have entered without inspection before June 15, 2012, or had his or her lawful immigration status expired as of June 15, 2012, and be under the age 31 years of age. The person must be enrolled in school. By the time he or she submits his or her application, the person must have graduated from high school, have obtained the GED, or be a veteran of the Coast Guard or Armed Forces, have not been convicted of a felony offense or a significant misdemeanor or more than 3 misdemeanors, and not pose a threat to national security or public safety. A lot of evidence will be required to prove that a person meets the requirements to qualify for DACA, including a passport, birth certificate, or other forms of photo identification from the individual's country of origin or issued by the U.S. government, school records, medical records, travel records, employment records, bank records, official records from a religious entity, receipts such as tax, money orders, rent, etc. It should be noticed that deferred action is available to those who are in removal proceedings, who have final orders of removal, or who have never been in removal proceedings. The cost of filing an application for DACA is $465. The application itself, the I-821D form for consideration of deferred action for childhood arrivals, is free, but the applicant must also apply and submit fees for the application for employment authorization, document, and biometric fee. When DACA was first introduced, applications were processed and decisions within a month, but as more and more people have continued to apply for this form of relief, it is currently taking approximately 6 months to get notification of approval. If your application is denied, you cannot file an appeal, but you can file the entire application once more and pay the fees again. DACA is granted for a total of 2 years and is renewable. Once the individual has been approved for deferred action, he or she can work with a renewable 2-year work permit, drive with a state-issued license, open a bank account, in some states pay for in-state college tuition, and travel outside the United States for humanitarian, educational, or employment purposes by applying and paying fees for and being granted advance parole. Those seeking to obtain DACA should heed caution when applying because it may pose a risk, especially if the individual in question has committed criminal offenses. If the applicant is here unlawfully and does not meet the requirements for deferred action, he or she may be placed in removal proceedings and have to go to the court to fight his or her removal. Deferred action does not guarantee legal permanent residency or U.S. citizenship, which is what the DREAM Act seeks to grant young immigrants, and can be revoked while not being an all-inclusive reform. However, this executive order was a major step forward to alleviate those who were brought to the United States as children. DACA allows individuals to stay in the United States with the ability to carry on normal lives until a greater measure in immigration reform is passed. I hope that this information has been useful, and if you have any doubts or concerns regarding the matter, please contact us at 718-LA MIGRA, which is 718-526-4472. It would be our pleasure to help and answer your questions. Have a great day. Thank you.
Reforma migratoria. Un aliado. Abogado Borja. 718 La Migra. 718-526-4472.